and today I'm here to talk to you about weddings, but more specifically my wedding and my wedding expectations versus reality. Now, it goes without saying that this is my experience, and take it or leave it, I'm just telling you a story time. So I've divided this in many different categories, like morning, ceremony, evening, that sort of thing, to make it easier, so it's not just like a jumbled up mess. But yeah, let's jump right into it. Okay, so the morning, when you watch those like wedding videos, and then there's like the morning and everything's like slow motion, and the bride is having her makeup done, and everything's in slow motion, everything's slow, and like all the bridesmaids are laughing and they're drinking coffee or they're drinking champagne, and everything is so happy. That's what my expectation was. Okay, I thought people were just gonna be happy all the time, and you get the gist. But the reality is, so we were getting ready in our house, and because it was quite close to the venue, we had a lot of people here. We weren't meant to have that many people here, we were just meant to have the bridesmaids, but it ended up being a lot more people, outside of my control, whatever. So there were like 20 people getting ready in my house. It was chaos, okay? My hair was going wrong, it was going all frizzy. But the worst thing to happen all morning is that it was raining. Now, let me tell you, my ceremony was outside with no marquee, nothing, okay? And it was raining. So I was upset. I was bawling my eyes out to my mom, she was holding me like a baby. I was just crying. And then the videographer came, and I was, with my puffy red eyes, and he was like, "Hi." I was like, "Hi." Yeah, that was by far probably the hardest part about the whole day. It was the fact that it was raining. But that morning specifically, it delayed everything, because after I had cried, that was before I did my makeup, I had to wait to do my makeup because I had red eyes and red face. So I had to wait a little bit, cheer up, and then do my makeup, which delayed the whole thing. So I was very late to my ceremony. I apologize if you were there. That is the reason why. You probably knew anyway. Now for the ceremony. So because my ceremony was outside, we made, my stepdad, bless him, he made this like frame, this A-frame, and we had like arrangements on it. It was on a field, it was beautiful. I was so looking forward to having that, cinematic experience going on. And it turns out that obviously it was raining. So last minute, literally up until 1 hour before the ceremony started, the boys, the groomsmen and my husband, they were trying to find marquees so that people could sit under them, but they didn't have enough marquees, so they had to makeshift some marquees, and it was a whole situation. So that's why I was crying so much, because my whole vision of a perfect ceremony was over. But other than that, it went well. Okay, there was a little bit something wrong with the sound, but that was only for like 2 minutes, and then after that it was beautiful. Another thing that happened is that I had tried my dress on many times, okay, by that point. Like, I had tried it on at least 5 times before I walked down the aisle. And okay, it's time to walk down the aisle, and I realized I can't actually walk in this dress. No one had ever thought about, oh, Gabs, can you actually walk in this dress? Turns out the dress was too long, so I had to walk down the aisle holding my dress so that I wouldn't trip. That was really sad as well. But hey, you live and you learn. Hey? We were having communion, and the day before I had bought the bread and the grape juice, because who drinks wine? the bread and the grape juice to have in the communion. But on the day of, my people couldn't find the grape juice. So I didn't find that out until I was at the altar taking my communion, that it wasn't actually grape juice. They just they put schlur instead. So safe to say that the blood of Jesus never tasted so good. Other than that, like seriously, like the ceremony was beautiful and we had a great time despite the rain and the schlur. The schlur is not a complaint. It's just something else that went wrong. So cocktail hour was, you know, it's always like an in-between kind of situation, and I had been to a wedding 2 years before, and during the cocktail hour there was no music, and I thought, like, it felt like the air was empty. I didn't want that for my wedding, and I had told my brother-in-law, the best man, I was like, put some music on as soon as the ceremony's over so that it fills the air. Do you know what I mean? Like, it feels less empty. He didn't, because he forgot the speaker and he couldn't hook it up to the DJ set, so there was no music. But that's fine, people were having fun. I don't think anyone even noticed that there was no music. But also the catering people, I don't know what happened, but we had told them to make this specific cocktail. We bought everything for the cocktail, everything was laid out, all of the cocktail stuff was in one place. This is the thing to make the cocktails. We gave them the recipe. So it was like a twist on the porn star martini. So porn star martinis are like yellow, orangey colour, right? So the cocktail that they served at the wedding was red. To this day, we don't know what the heck was in that cocktail. Anyway. Okay, so the wedding breakfast. I expected drinks and food to be served simultaneously and people to be eating and drinking. What happened was that we had a cash bar. So when people got there, they just started buying drinks. Like, they just started buying drinks, so many drinks that by the time that we sat down to eat, they had run out of beers, completely out of beers. So that's how many drinks people bought. So that's quite good. But the thing is that we had bought drinks to be served as well, like without it being part of the bar. But no one was serving them, so it was a whole headache trying to get people to start serving those drinks and get people to stop buying drinks for a second so that we can give them the drinks that we did have, and it was a whole shebang. I was a little bit anxious. Adam and I didn't eat. We didn't eat. Like, you know, one of the biggest things about our wedding was the food, because it was a Brazilian barbecue, because I'm Brazilian and we wanted a Brazilian barbecue. So we were all really looking forward to the food, but Adam and I didn't eat. Like, we just didn't eat. Thankfully, my mum had asked the caterers to box up loads of meat for her. And before she went home the next day, she forgot to take it, so it stayed with me and Adam. We froze it, and when we came back from our mini moon, we ate it. So we did have some food from our wedding, just not on the wedding day, but that's fine, hey? Okay, so for the evening, I expected, you know, people to dance, whatever, but also I wanted a huge taco bar like this, and we bought all the things for it. Everything was ready, set to go, and the caterers were meant to set it up, obviously, to have it served. But I don't know what happened exactly. It was kind of half served, and then bless him, my father-in-law had to go and serve the rest or whatever he could, and he missed our first dance and stuff. I don't know what happened, but I think there were tacos, because I've seen people posting pictures eating tacos, but I don't know what they ate tacos with, because I still have all the plates that I bought for them to serve their tacos. So I don't know what people ate them with, like a napkin. Like, if you were at the wedding, please tell me, how did you eat your taco? I speak to people who are at the wedding all the time and they were like, oh, you had tacos? So I'm just saying. But I've seen pictures of people with their tacos on the wedding, so I don't know. Genuinely don't know. But people were having fun and we had a really, really good time, so it was okay in the end. My point is that you can't control everything. Like, so many things went wrong on my wedding day, things that I could have helped, and things that I could not have helped. It is frustrating. The rain thing specifically, like, it took me so long to be able to get over it, because it was just like since I was so young, I have been dreaming about this day, and then suddenly it comes and it doesn't go according to plan. It's like such a hard thing. It's a hard pill to swallow. It really is. So I don't want to sound like I'm complaining. So to counteract, I have made a list of the things that went right to give you hope for your future. In terms of the things that went right, before the ceremony, as I said, my makeup artist couldn't come. There was a mix-up and the whole thing went wrong. But somehow I managed to do my makeup the best that I've ever done in my life. Like, I'm not a makeup guru, I'm not a makeup enthusiast, I just know how to do my own makeup sometimes, you know. But that day I did it and it looked nice, and I'm really proud of that. That went really right. Also, my bridesmaids were all happy and they looked amazing. Safe to say, you know, I chose them well. For the ceremony, I know, like I said, it was raining and blah blah blah, and the marquees. I'll show you pictures as I go, you know. But I've always wanted a string quartet to play in my wedding, but obviously that is flipping expensive. I asked one of my good friends, to, you know, play at my wedding. She plays piano, and then another family friend plays violin, so they played, and one of the guests, and they told me actually that one of the guests was actually a cello player, and I was like, perfect. So they played, and let me tell ya, it was the best music that I could have like dreamed of on my wedding day, with the cello and the violin and the piano. Oh honey, it was the best. Now, cocktail hour, what went right is that people just seem to have a really good time. Oh, I forgot to mention actually, so it rained in the morning. It stopped raining the second I stepped my foot out of the car to walk down the aisle, and it didn't rain for the rest of the day. In fact, it actually cleared up and we had an amazing sunset, golden hour type, so the vibes were amazing. Like, it was, because it was in the summer, it was like very like chill, like festival-ish vibes, you know. So now for the wedding breakfast, what went right is that because we had a Brazilian barbecue and we're in England, you know, English people love a Brazilian barbecue, the amount of people who told us that they had amazing food is insane, okay? Everyone came up to us and said how good that food was. Obviously, we knew that was gonna happen. That's why we paid extra, so we could have Brazilian barbecue on our wedding, and that was really cool. And in the evening, although the taco bar was only half served, the people were just a vibe. Like, I think genuinely the best thing about our wedding was the people and the vibe, the atmosphere. It was so much love and so much like happiness, you know. It was one of the first weddings of the season since COVID, all of the lockdowns and all the restrictions. I think people were just happy to just be normal again. There was no worry about anything. It just felt like all of this pandemic stuff was, you know, it was left outside and we're in our own little world. Thankfully, we didn't have any outbreak, so it was all good. And we just had so much fun, honestly, maybe too much fun. So yeah, I don't regret anything. Although things went wrong, my expectations and my reality were different in so many aspects, but in more aspects they were the same. Like the decor, my godmother, oh my goodness, she decorated the wedding, and I showed her a few pictures of the dessert table that I wanted, and boy did she deliver. I had the craziest dessert table that I have ever seen in real life. Obviously I've seen some really cool ones online, but in real life I have never seen something as impressive as that. So yeah, so many things went right. So don't worry, like, if I could go back in time, I would probably try to put some contingency plans in place so that I could, you know, have more peace of mind if certain things happen. But other than that, there's nothing really that I could have done to prevent the things that did happen. You know, I did as much as I could, and so did everyone else, so that's all I could ask for. So yeah, don't worry, it won't go according to plan. Trust me, your wedding day is not the best day of your life. I'm sorry to burst your bubble. It was not the best day of my life. It's just not, you know. But it was one of the best, definitely, maybe like top 3. So yeah, genuinely, it'll be fine, and it'll all be over, and everything will be worth it when you see the video and the pictures. Our video is already posted, so I'll link it down below so you can have a watch, and you'll see just how amazing it was, and you probably won't even know, and you won't even notice the things that I talked about. It's just from a bride's point of view, hey? So yeah, hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you later.